Okay, hi. This is my book review for this book right here, Last Child in the Woods by Richard Louv. So basically what this book is Richard Louv discussing the problems that arise in children and then future adults that are directly related to a disconnect with nature at an early age. These problems are largely behavioral and mental problems that occur in children, such as things like ADHD, depression, and anxiety, things that Louv says can be mitigated through early and healthy experiences in nature. He dubs these problems like ADHD and depression under this umbrella term that he has created called nature deficit disorder, which is not a real psychological thing or a real medical term, but it is something that he thinks covers up the bases when you're talking about something like this. So after he kind of lays out why he thinks that these problems are caused by a disconnect between children and nature, he offers solutions and alternatives for these problems. The biggest being that everybody has to realize that there is a direct link between nature and being in nature and human health, whether that be mental or physical health. And then he goes on to offer solutions solutions like schoolyard greening efforts, legal reform, and changes in community design to make communities and cities green at an infrastructure level, and then which would then like trickle out and affect everybody in the community. I think that Louv uses really good personal and anecdotal stories to reinforce this idea that the problem surrounding nature is deeply personal and it affects everybody that experiences nature. That experience is deeply personal to everybody, which is the core of this issue, I think. It focuses on solutions and potential alternatives while also addressing potential critics, which is always a good idea when you're writing something like this, which could be perceived as something, inflammatory. And then he also uses really good statistics and quotes from credible people to support his arguments, which is always really important for something like this. The personal impact of this, for me, I think a lot of parts made me really emotional. It reminded me a lot of my own childhood because I got to go out and play on the street with all the kids, and there was a woods behind my house when I was younger, and it just reminded me of that. So it just made me really grateful for my mom and everybody who allowed me to do stuff like that, and would I recommend this book? Yes, 100%, absolutely. I've already recommended it to my sister who has a young kid. I think it's really important for parents to read this book, and just people who will eventually have children. I think it's great. So yeah, definitely, totally read it if you haven't.